tryna be like nobody else. No, I ain't tryna be like nobody else. No, I ain't tryna be like nobody else. Cause I'm having too much fun tryna be myself. No, I'm not the type of chick that like to follow trends. I got a small circle, no, don't need a lot of friends. You know I gotta get this money cause I like to spend. I see you haters watching, so I just give you a grin.
Yo, what's up? How you guys doing? I'm here with another episode of Justheretovent. I'm going to be sitting here doing a recap for Raising Kanan Season 2, Episode 5, which actually happens to be really good. I like how they did the editing for the clips when it was coming out, because you had a lot of stuff that you thought was going to happen, which didn't happen. Like, a lot of people thought that she was going to end up having to kill one of the Italians, and she ended up not killing an Italian. She was burying a body that she killed actually in first season. I said first season, Season 1. So that's basically what her and Kanan was doing. The episode started out with Kanan, it was a fiend trying to come get some crack from the crack house. Marvin was in there doing his due diligence, cleaning out the body that they had killed in Season 1. But, it was starting to stink up the whole place, and, that's bad for business. So as he's in the midst of doing that, this guy keep banging on the door. So Marvin finally gave him some crack, because, he a fiend. But Marvin told him to tell all of the fiends that they closed for right now, and to make sure that don't nobody else come back to the spot. So he ended up giving him the drugs for free. So then we cut back to Marvin. He's sitting there trying to spray the body. He's sitting there wrapping it up, taping it up. And he ended up delivering it to Rock later that day. Rock woke up Kanan and was asking him, did he remember about camping when they used to camp? And she was like, you woke me up to talk about camping? You know what I'm saying? He was kind of confused, and he wanted to just go back to sleep. So she was like, well, we going camping. And, he was kind of just looking like, okay. So they ended up doing that. He goes into the room to go talk to Jukebox. This is Kanan. And he was telling her about how he went to go talk to that cop, and that he looked in his eyes, and he said the guy did seem familiar to him. Basically telling her that he felt the same way about Malcolm that she felt about her mom, Kenya. And Juke is not trying to hear this shit. She was like, he's nothing but a lying-ass cop. Don't believe nothing he say. She's not really going for it. She don't want him to... She basically think that the cop is lying, and honestly, I think that she just probably got a problem with cops, which obviously if you're in the business that they in and their family, they will all have a problem with a cop. So Kanan just like, he don't know what to believe. So in the midst of them talking, Rock come in the room, she cut them off, and she was like, Kanan, you need to go on ahead and hurry up and get dressed. He's like, all right, I'm coming. She basically saying like, now nigga, like, get your ass up and let's go. So the whole time, it's these two Italians that Saul sent that's staking out Rock apartment, so they watching her every move. I think he sent them to kill her, because she basically getting too big for her britches. She not listening. She still was trying to send shit over there to Jersey, and she not trying to pay the toll, which is why they robbed her both times. Now, Marvin come over, he bring her the car, he tell Kanan to put his stuff in the back seat, because as y'all know, he got that body in the trunk of the car. So bam, whatever, they got the body in the car. They ended up start doing their driving. So we cut to Lulu in the studio. We go back to Juke. Juke started listening to the tape that Crown gave her last episode, and it turned out that they had remixed her song, and there's Ziza on there singing the song. So she just immediately got mad, and she ended up pulling up on Zia like, why you had to steal my song? She threw the tape at her, and Zia was like, I don't have to steal nothing from nobody, like, I write my own songs. And then she basically was like, how did you get my address? And she was like, Juke said Crown gave it to me, Now, as y'all know, Crown is trying to create discord amongst everybody and try to tie it all back to Lou and have him have the issue, because he don't want him working at the studio, which is funny because it's like Crown don't even have no money. So it's like, how's you gonna be sitting here trying to run a studio? You don't even have no money. That's the whole reason Lou was there, to help you out. But he just mad because he feel like Lou is trying to run too much shit, and plus he's scared of Lou too, as y'all know. So Zia was like, Juke is mad about that, and now she mad at Lulu because she like, damn, you supposed to be my uncle, you supposed to be looking out for me, you out here giving my songs away and shit. So she ended up approaching Lulu about that, and he was just like, listen, this is how the music industry go. We told her to just sing it to see how she sound on it. We know it's actually going to turn out good. And he was like, but don't sweat it. You still could get the writing credits. Publishing is not something to sneeze at. Like, you still going to get paid. And she ain't trying to hear that shit. She just mad because she feel like, Lulu used her. Which is what Crown wanted. Like I said, Crown want everybody to be mad at Lulu. Make it seem like he doing some nut ass shit. So we cut through all of that scene, and now Crown and Lulu was talking to this DJ, basically trying to get him to play Zia, the remix song, on the radio. And Crown, the guy, the DJ is basically saying, like, y'all gotta grease my palms, it costs to basically be put on the radio. Now, as Lulu was trying to talk to the DJ, Crown cut him off, basically saying, like, hey, it's just my money, man. Like trying to play him like he not shit, he don't know what's going on. And Crown has been in the industry longer than Lou, so Lou is still learning the ropes. But, it is what it is. But, like, Lulu felt disrespected. And later on, when they got into the parking lot, Lulu had to punch the shit out that nigga because he like, Crown, now you starting to disrespect me, basically. And he was like, I understand you make that gangster music, but you're not a gangster. And, this was a clip that we had already seen. And, Crown pulled out the gun. And Lulu like, yeah, don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. And Crown like, what makes you think I'm going to use it? And he was like, I'm saying you're not going to use it. And, Lulu was so confident that he turns his back on Crown. And, Crown ended up not shooting him because we all know Crown pussy. But you got to be careful of people that's like Crown, because once they back is up against the wall, they will kind of do any and everything or whatever they going to do because they so scary. Go all the way back to Above the Rum when Marlon Wayans had killed Tupac. That's because you get so tired of getting bullied and bullied and bullied, and after a while, it's time for you to fight back or quote unquote shoot back. So we done with that whole studio scene with Lulu and Crown, and now we get back to Rock. Rock is sitting there. They finally get up there to the where is it? They in Catskills. It's like up there in the mountains or somewhere. So they finally get back there. She get a little hotel room. She get the key. In the midst of her getting the key and everything, Kanan started talking to this girl named Hannah. She white. They're making a little conversation. She seemed a little bit too excited, to be talking to him. She all hyped. She pressed. She clearly want to give him some. And she don't even know him, but you could just tell that, she like him or whatever. So they talking. His mom ended up cut that shit short and was telling him, like, they got to get back. So she telling him to start getting the stuff out the car. And he asked her, like, you want me to get the stuff out the trunk? And she's like, it ain't nothing in there but bug spray and something else. Like, she just was trying to keep him away from the trunk because that Marvin got that body in there. That's the whole reason that they really drove up there. That's not the whole reason. Obviously, she brought him down there because she wanted to talk to him, see what was going on with him. But she also brought him down there because, she trying to get rid of that body. Now, in the midst of all of this, the two Italians that Saul had sent, they had followed them all the way up there. They basically tailing them. They doing their stakeout because they got sent out there, to kill Rock. Now, one of the guys that's in charge, I think his name Jimmy, is telling the other one, like, listen, we not killing no kids, so, get that whole thing out of your head about killing the kids or whatever. But he not really trying to hear all of that. He's clearly, like, super, 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 super racist. Like, he's just a real racist person. So we get through that. He racist, and he just is, like, saying all of this, obscenity, speaking about black people and everything like that. So that's what's going on with them. So in the midst of that, they over the campfire, they talking, Now Rock is trying to get Kanan to open back up to her because she could tell that he kind of like at a distance from her. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not really feeling what's going on with her. So make a long story short, they finally discussed a few things, and she was telling them, like, this is all for you. At the end of the day, this is going to be your life. You're going to be taking over. And, it's up to you if you want it. Like, basically giving him that option. Like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. But now he's saying he's going to do it. And they made kind of like a little pact that they're going to share everything with each other. Now, we cut back to Marvin. The lady, Miss Renee, that's running the anger management class, had basically called him and saw him out to have that meeting because she was just basically saying, you're not talking in the class at all. You're not talking to nobody. You're not dealing with nobody. And, we got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So he like, well, I don't like talking in that class. I'm a private person. I don't like people in my business. So he opened up to her a little bit and told her that his daughter not talking to him or whatever, and basically that he did some fucked up shit, and he don't know if she ever gonna talk to him again, and he wouldn't be surprised if she didn't. And he was saying that he don't deserve for her to talk to him. But he definitely made it clear to Miss Renee, like, it wasn't no sexual type stuff, because the mind could go any type of way when it become a father and a daughter relationship, because a lot of that incestual shit definitely does go on. You know what I'm saying? So, bam. We move on from that. We go back to, where's we at now? We getting back to Rock. So, Kanan up there, he had to go back to the store to get something. And he over there talking to the white girl, Hannah. Now, in the midst of this, the guy Jimmy that saw Sin is basically like, this is my opportunity basically to take her out. She out there by herself, you know. And he was like, you know, try to run a little interference, not an interference. He was saying for the other guy, I think his name Dominic, something like that, to go watch Kanan and make sure, like, you know, you kind of let him know when he coming back or whatever, like something like that. So that's what they got going on. I'm like, all right, cool, bam. So, but you know, the guy Dominic is like super racist, and Jimmy is letting him know, like, you know, Saul, the big boss, is saying like, we don't kill no kids, we don't kill kids. That's part of their rules, like they don't kill kids. So he ain't trying to hear all that shit because he already just don't like, you know, Kanan, and he don't like black people in general. So he got a whole issue with that. He was acting crazy. He was getting on my damn nerves. So Jimmy trying to sneak up on Rock. So she hears some footsteps. She think that it's Kanan coming back trying to scare her. So she started yelling out like, Kanan Stark, is that you? And ended up being another family had walked up asking her for some firewood. And she basically was saying like, you know, y'all can have as much as y'all need. Y'all can have as much as y'all want. So she like, Jimmy didn't get the opportunity to kill her at that point. Now we go back to Kanan. Kanan's still at the store. He's sitting out there, supposed to be getting something from the store. He out there smoking weed with Hannah. Now they talking, they discussing a few things, and like I said, you know, Hannah like him, so they get ready to start to kiss. The guy Dominic stops them. It's like, you know, what's going on? What the fuck are you guys doing? You know, he talking to them like he is Hannah dad or something. Like, you a whole stranger out here. Like, who the fuck even are you? You putting attention on yourself and you making yourself known. You about to make the whole situation worse. So he was talking to Hannah like, so they get to go and they kind of arguing back and forth, and he was just saying like, I wish you. He's like, if you was my daughter, and she's like, well, I'm not your daughter though. So Rock ended up coming back, and she interrupted the whole situation, and she basically stopped the boy Dominic because he was trying to get real aggressive with Kanan, and he like, she let Kanan know like, how many times I gotta tell you, you know, these white girls, they ain't trouble, like they gonna get you killed out here. So she trying to throw him up on game. You gotta remember the time this is in as well. So it's like, okay, this is going on. So she like, this is going on with that. So she trying to tell him, like I said, y'all remember this the early 90s, and you know, even now still some people frown upon like interracial relationships. So even back then it was a thing too. So I'm like, oh, okay. They sitting there talking about that, and they get back to, you know, discussing what's going on, you know, with Kanan and how they got their little relationship and everything going on, and you know what's going on with them. And he basically telling her like, you know, we are going to, like, he do want to be a part of the business, and that she was saying like he got to share everything with her, you know, like basically they don't have no secrets between them. And she say the same thing back to her, like, you know, you need to share everything with me. So they ended up burying the body. They ended up burying the body or whatever, and yeah, so they ended up burying the body, and that she had brought in the trunk. Like, she showed it to him, like kind of let him know like, all right, this is your first insight, your first step into what's going on, the type of business that we do, you know, this type of shit that we got to do. We got to get rid of bodies. And you know, they ended up you know, digging a hole in the woods, and they buried the body. Now Kanan, you know, this real hard working shit, so he's sweating or whatever. So that part had me cracking up, because he probably like, damn, like, this is the type of shit that my Bobby get into, like, this shit is crazy. Like, so they digging the body or whatever. I said they digging the body, they digging the hole, and they bury him or whatever. So that was crazy. They got through all of that scene. So that was kind of, like I said, she came up there to really talk to Kanan, but that was also their mission. So kind of after that, they like, you know, we leaving the next day. And, you know, the guy Jimmy didn't get a chance to kill Rock, because remember that family had stopped them because they was asking for some wood or whatever. So they getting ready to leave the next day. She told Kanan, hey, go drop this key off and shit, and make sure you don't talk to that white bitch. You know what I'm saying? But before we get to that part, we go back to Jukebox. She went to church with her mom. She's looking nice. She got her hair down. She got her little dress on. She still got her little, like, her tomboy jacket on or whatever. So in the midst of her Bob up there singing at the church, you know, I think it's like church choir, like it's her practice or whatever. This guy come in there, this little boy, like around her age, trying to talk to her, you know, trying to speak game. And she basically let him know, like, this ain't it. This not what we doing. And, you know, ain't we at church, and you need to be focusing on something else. Something she was saying. It was funny. So the choir director is sitting there talking to Kenya, Jukebox mom, like, you know, what's going on with your daughter? Do she come to church often, this and that? And he was saying, And she was telling him, like, you need to really hear my daughter sing. And she was like, he was asking her, like, is her voice as good as yours or whatever. So they ended up calling Juke up to the stage. Now Juke gets up there and she sung so good, I ain't gonna lie, I almost had a tear brought to my eye, like I almost shed a tear. So make a long story short, she killed it. Like, she was up there singing, and like even the mom, like everybody in the choir, the people that was singing, like everybody gave her a standing ovation. They was looking at her like, damn, like this girl really got some pipe. She really could sing. And that made her feel good, because she felt like they trying to shit on her at the studio and they trying to play her. Not necessarily saying that she can't sing, but they trying to say like, she don't got the right look. Now, Malcolm comes squeezing back around. He approaches Duke like saying, he looking for Malcolm. He trying to talk to him. Then we go to Detective Burke irking ass. I keep telling y'all she's getting on my nerves, and I'm telling you she's going to end up getting herself killed. So we go to Detective Burke. Detective Burke is talking to, I don't even remember the lady's name, but she is the one that's sleeping with Malcolm. Y'all know she a prostitute or whatever. She be sleeping with Malcolm for money. And she asking her all these questions, threatening her with CPS, and they going to take her kids if she don't tell her everything she know about Malcolm and what's going on with him. She tells him everything that she knows. She also keeps the same story about Malcolm, saying that he don't remember anything that happened, but she did slip up and tell Detective Burke that he got a son. Now, Detective Burke, that was what she wanted to hear, because that was some new information that she didn't know about. So I'm just like, you done fucked up now. I don't know who fucked up more, Detective Burke by being nosy, or the lady that's fucking with Malcolm by telling her that she got a son. So we get to that scene, we go back up to the woods as he returning the key, Kanan, to thing. He still end up running back into Hannah. She's like, Dad, you not gonna say bye? So they go in there, they shut the door. The guy Dominic is watching them the whole time. He see them, so he go in there. Jimmy telling him to run the interference, you know what I'm saying? But he gonna do more than that, because he already is racist and he don't like black people. So Jimmy tries to go into the house, so he come in there, he got the silencer on. Now, Rock, she in the streets, so she already probably peep game. She's watching her surroundings. So she ended up coming up behind him with a knife and like basically saying like, listen, I know Saul sent you, you know what I'm saying? Tell him we could do some business, but if I kill you now, it's gonna be a war. And if I let you go, y'all gonna keep coming back, basically. Like, let him saying like, these are some tough decisions. We got some tough choices ahead of us. Now, Dominic goes into the damn place with Kanan, and they start whooping his ass. He start fighting him. He start doing this, that, and the third. Like, they getting that shit in. Like, and then he tried to pull a gun out like he was trying to kill Kanan. So Hannah runs away and hurry up and go get Rock. And she was like, he's trying to kill Kanan. He's trying to kill Kanan. So, she already spared Jimmy life. She took the knife away from his neck, because, that's her first priority is her son. She run back in there to see what's going on, and he already got the gun pointed on Kanan. So the guy Jimmy ended up shooting his own man Dominic, not to kill. I think he shot him in either the arm or the leg, but just to stop him from doing what he was doing. But it's like, you so stupid, you letting your racist feelings get the best of you so bad that you're not even realizing that you're not listening to what your own boss said, which is not to kill no kids. You know what I'm saying? You got so much racism and hate in your heart. It's crazy. So they ended up doing all of that. She was like, the guy Jimmy, like, well, what about her? Asking about the girl Hannah. And Rock is like, she not gonna say nothing. And she was like, and if you think you about to say anything, basically saying like, hey, he gonna send his people, I'm gonna send my people, and we gonna come back and get you type shit. Strike some fear into her so she don't open up her mouth and shit. So everybody ended up leaving. Saul and them leave, Rock and them leave. They heading back up into the city. They riding in silence. They not saying nothing to each other. Now we go back to Marvin. Marvin ass done ran up into the girl Tony from season 1, the white girl that had got him locked up, which is the whole reason that he doing the anger management. So he ended up following her. Now he got approached by a cop already. They was asking him what he was doing there, because he black, he in a white neighborhood. They wondering what the hell you doing up here. We know you don't live here and shit. So he just told the cop like, hey, I was driving around all day. I decided to park up, take a break, and eat some chips and shit. Take a little snack. So the cop, he don't really believe his story, but he like, all right, go ahead, eat your snacks and roll on. We like to have this partner for people that's actually out here shopping. So then he still ended up going back. He following Tony. He follows her and finds out where her house is. I think she either engaged or is married already to this guy. She got nice, because she living good. She living out there. She living in a nice area, nice big house. She got nice cars, you know what I'm saying? She doing her thing. Now, I don't really know what Marvin's intention is, if he planning on killing her or if he just trying to see, like, had a drop on her, make sure you see our neighborhood. Now, at the end of the episode, you see the cop car was following Marvin the whole time, so he pulls back up on Marvin. So I don't really know how that's going to play out next week. But we see that he was sitting on the couch talking to Kanan in next week episode. So we know that he probably either A, didn't get locked up, or the cop just let him go. Or he probably made up another story and shit. Because you know Marvin funny as shit. He'll make up some stories real quick. Like, so that made me laugh. Like, I was cracking up. And I think all in all, it was a pretty good episode. I was expecting a few different more things to happen. I can't wait to see how it's going to play out with Juke and her mom being in the church and Juke being a lesbian, because, you know, that's kind of against the Bible. So I really can't wait to see that part of the storyline play out. The girl gets back, I forgot to say that, she was talking back to Malcolm, the prostitute, and telling Malcolm everything that Detective Burke was asking her. And Malcolm was mad at her, like cursing her the fuck out, saying you should have kept your mouth shut, you should have just shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? And when she told Malcolm that she mentioned his son, he's like, what the fuck? Like, that was all he needed, because he know he's trying to keep that a secret, because he already know who his mom is and what she get into, and that's going to bring more stuff, and he's trying to keep his son protected. But I hear my son in the background acting crazy. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys like this episode. I'll be doing a review next week as well. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye.